YouTube channel PNJ Legal. We are 12 years old law firm and dealing in for trademark registration, copyright registration and all the intangible property rights protections. We are dealing for many clients for whom we are doing registrations in all over countries, not only in India but in all 138 countries where the trademark laws are applicable. One of example is our Chaudhary group, which is into YY manufacturing noodles, and they are also owning brands with Taj, and they are registered their Chaudhary group name in 138 countries. We assisted them in registration in all the countries. So we thought of bringing a topic to you for the trademark registration, as many of the entrepreneurs and startups and budding professionals thought of making it registered as a trademark, whether it is beneficial for them or not. So they always in a mind whether they should spend this much on the intangible property rights or not, and what will happen in their valuation in case they will get it registered. So what is trademark? Trademark is a symbol, word, any sort of presentation, any sort of number, numerical presentation, which you thought that it is related to your business, and your business will be identified with that trademark. So many of you will be thinking that what can be trademarked. So I would like to refer a presentation here. You can refer in the presentation any of your product. If you want to register your product as a trademark, yes, you can do. Any of your service, in case of you are into beverage services, hotel services, restaurant services, yes, you can do it in a trademark. Any of your shape, pattern, any of your collective community, if you want to represent your community as a Seva Kendra or Loafer Club or Wesh Foundation, yes, that can also be trademarked. Any of your certification or sound, any of your color, any of the word presentation, any of the letter or numbers presentation, any of your device, if you want to represent your business in some sort of device which you have created or manufactured or innovated, any sort of packaging. So if you have some sort of Tetra pack or very good plastic packing, yes, you can get it trademark. Trademark is defined in 45 classes. So why there's a 45 classes? Most of the entrepreneurs is thinking that our product is related to one class, or our services is only falling under some metal or goods or some sort of art painting or any sort of professional services. So why should we register in the 45 classes when there's only one class which is applicable to us? So the point of registering in the 45 classes came into because you want a protection for a long-term perspective. Now you have an extension of your products into, might be in the same category of business, might be in a different category of business. So for example, Reliance comes into a retail mart, Reliance comes into jewelry, Reliance comes into electronic. So if they thought of Reliance is only towards the gas production and oil production, and they had registered only in the oil production and gas production, so later on Reliance can be captured in a retail mart or in a sort of electronic mart by any other brand. So at that time they will find it very difficult to get it registered Reliance in the other brands. So that is why if you register in all the 45 classes, in the long-term perspective of your business, you will be fully protected. So what are the classes in which trademark can be registered? You can refer our presentation in the chemicals, paints, cosmetics, fuels, pharmaceuticals, metal goods, machines, hand tools, scientific, medical, and there's all 45 classes in the trademark registry. You can get it from the trademark site also. It's ipindia.nic.in, from where you can get a complete description of the classes. So we would like to advise you on what all the trademark laws is governing into, what sort of definition in which all the trademark laws are circulating and governing into. It's a distinctiveness and deceptive similarness. If your product, if your brand, if your word, if your company name is deceptive similar to any of the business, you will not get a trademark registration. It should be distinctive enough so that your business will not be getting into some sort of similar presentation to the any other business. So what are the requirements of filing a trademark registration? In a trademark registration, you need a name, address and nationality of applicant. If your applicant is a company, you have to mention your certificate of incorporation, your memorandum article, list of goods and services on which you need a registration, a soft copy, a sample of your presentation of the word or symbol or trademark, And if the mark contains of any non-English words, you need a translation of the English. And if you want to claim a priority from any earlier date, then you have to produce a number of documents evidencing that you had actually used in that date. So you can get also register a trademark from the date of your first use. So whenever you start using the trademark, you can get it registered from that retrospective date. But on that date, you have to produce some sort of publication or some sort of advertisement, notice, circular, whatever you had produced in the general public, you can get it evidence from there. Power of attorney is required on a ₹100 stamp paper. That is for your legal authorization to your consultant so that they can file all the trademark application at the department. We came across many queries from the professionals and the businessmen and entrepreneurs that trademark registration is a long process. Now the department has expedited all the services, and now in a 6 to 8 months you will get registered your trademark. Earlier it takes 2 years of time because of your examination and opposition came from the third party, but now all the procedures has been expedited. So how the registration process be completed? First you will file an application. You can start using the circle TM. It reflects that you had filed a trademark application, but you are not registered. You cannot use the circle R. So you can only use the circle TM. So once you file an application, the department examine your application after 2 or 3 months and they come up with their queries. If they want anything from you, any specific answers of their clarification, you have to produce to them. And then in next 2 to 3 months, they publish it in a public notice. And in a public notice, if any opposition came, then you have to fight a case with that third party because it's a sort of valuation and it's sort of your business dispute. So you have to file it separately in a civil court or any sort of commercial dispute authority. So what are the absolute grounds of refusal in which trademark examination department will refuse your trademark application? So those are if your trademark is devoid of any distinctive character, it's very general sort of thing, grammatical or some sort of country names or some sort of very goods and products name which is very general. If your trademark is not descriptive, trademark which are deceptive, which are like creating any sort of confusion for any numerical alphabets which you have used in a sort of some sort of pictorial representation, and those alphabets are creating a lot of confusion. If your trademark or signs is any customary in a local language, which might create a confusion again with the public understanding. If it contains any obscene matter or likely to hurt any religious susceptibilities in India, or it consists of any shape which is purely functional and necessary to obtain a technical result, and if it is prohibited under Emblems and Names Act of 1950. We would like to quote a famous case laws here. One is of the Tata Sons, where Make My Trip has used one of name of OK Tata Bye Bye in their travel website. So that creates a confusion with the brand of Tata. So Tata has won the case against Make My Trip in that case. Another case also very famous one is for the Honda Motors, where any one of pressure cooker company has used the word Honda in their pressure cookers. So Honda also won the case because Honda is very much famous and popular in the motor vehicles. And in the cookers, it's certainly creating a confusion in the minds of public. Another very important aspect in the trademark registration is use of your mark. Because whenever there's any examination, whenever there's any opposition, or whenever you are fighting case, in case of any dispute or conflict, so at that time, the use you have to justify that the trademark has been used by you. So what constitutes a use in India? Use of mark outside India or transborder reputation of mark in India may not be enough to sustain a registration. So if you had only used a trademark once in any abroad publication, or you had gone abroad and you have shown that, okay, we are carrying out the business in the name of this mark, but you are not actually carrying out that business. So you cannot say that you had used this mark. So use may be non-physical, but it has to be material. So there has to be a substantial evidence for the use. So it couldn't be a non-physical, physical, that doesn't matter. Trademark can also be assigned. So if you have registered any trademark and later on your business comes into any sort of collaboration or strategic tie-up, so you can assign that trademark even from your individual name to the company's name and business name, and in case of your joint venture companies different from your earlier entity, so you can assign that trademark. Trademark renewal is on the 10 years period. So after 10-year period, you have to renew your trademark. We are law firm which is advising on the trademark and branding strategy to most of the multinational clients. So if you have any query, any doubts, any clarification you need for the trademark registration, or you want to create your brand strategy and you want to implement your brand strategy over 100 countries or 50 countries or wherever you are extending your geographical operation or business, we are there to help you. Thanks.